This is a 1977 Mercedes 240D. It is the bulletproof W123 series of cars that was from 1976 to 1985. They are wonderfully reliable cars. This one has been a daily driver for me for the last 12 years. It has 150,000 miles on the engine and 357,000 miles on the chassis. It has been very well cared for over the years. It was delivered to a doctor in Sausalito here in Northern California in July of '77, and it has been in the California, Northern California area for almost all of that time. I took it to Auburn, California for a few years, and then it came here to Alameda in about 2013. You can see San Francisco in the background. We'll start our tour here in the trunk. You can see that there are surface flaws in the paint. It is shiny, but there is oxidation that is underneath the wax. It may be possible to correct that. I have never tried that. So the trunk mat liner is present, but a little rough. There are holes there. The plastic liners on either side of the trunk are in good shape. Underneath we have a full-size spare with air in it, a Mercedes jack, and a Mercedes tool kit. The tire iron is not present. We are going to move to looking at the engine. This is a 4-cylinder diesel engine. It has had the valves adjusted every 10,000 miles, the oil changed every 3,000 miles or 1 year. It has had the fuel filters changed every 10,000 miles. The coolant and brake fluid has been changed every 3 years. The battery has been changed every 5 years. This one is from 2020. It's a Mercedes 100 amp hour battery there. The brake master cylinder and slave cylinder have been replaced in the last 10 years. All of the rubber under the hood, such as the vacuum connector here, all of the coolant lines here, coolant hoses, have been replaced, every last one of them, including that short little hose that is concealed behind this bracket here. It has a new radiator cap, an alternator that has about 25,000 miles on it. The power steering pump has been replaced. The Bosch fuel pre-filter has been replaced. That is right here with the style that does not leak. In general, this car does not leak anything on the ground when you park it. That is pretty special for a Mercedes diesel. It's a sign of how much I have cared for it. The injector bypass hoses are all fresh, and the end cap for the injector bypass hose is present, and there are a couple in the glove box for you. The oil cooler lines have been custom built by John Deere and been replaced in the last couple of years. The fuse box has been cleaned and all of the fuses replaced during the pandemic. The glow plug system has been upgraded. You can see there's a solenoid there on the firewall, and the fast glow system allows the plugs to be heated in 5 seconds, which is much better than the factory 1 minute that has been replaced. The belts are relatively new and have been adjusted within the last year. I changed the oil last night and put in a new man filter. You can see the dipstick. That is oil that has only been driven about 5 miles for me to get to this site here. So it is an extremely clean engine compartment, very well cared for, and I think we will move on to the rear seat area. Here we are at the rear door. The panel is in very good condition. The back of the rear seats have had restrung cargo nets. The carpeting is in clean condition. The carpet on that side is a slightly different color and has some staining. The upholstery itself is in marvelous condition. And the center armrest is also in good condition. I'll leave that down so you can see the other side in a moment. The package shelf has faded carpet up there. The original first aid kit is not present. The dome light is functional. The headliner is in very good shape. Now we'll move to the other side of the car. You can hear the door close. Looking in the passenger side. Once again, very nice door. No damages. Very nice upholstery. The car does not have the fabric wrapped piping that you would typically expect. It did not come to me like that. It's a very clean interior. We'll look at the front seat now. Oh, I do want to point out that the base of the pillar here has a incorrect color piece of trim. The base of that pillar is the correct color. This door also in good condition. The power windows at the rear do not function. The front power windows do work. I'll demonstrate those in a minute. There is missing carpet in the passenger side from the seat up to the passenger footwell. It comes with cocoa mats, and underneath the mat here is a pretty clean original carpet. The dashboard wood is not in good condition over here at the glove box, and there's cracking also in the varnish here. There's cracking in the wood as well on the driver's side here. The mirror controls are functional. The driver's door has an area of damage at the top here, and when the door opens you can see there's a significant dent right there. The door has been slightly deformed by this damage. However, when it rains, water does not come in. In a car wash, however, water will spray through a bit and drip on the seat. The result of the damage here is that you have to close the door with somewhat of a significant amount of force. If you do not slam it with enough force, it does not close all the way. This is not due to the new striker not having been adjusted properly. It's due to this here. There are new door strikers throughout the car. Also in very nice condition, there is a loose connection here in the connection of this pocket to the door. The driver's seat in very good condition. It does have a small area of wear that you can see in this area here. But for a car with 357,000 miles and 46 years on it, it's pretty astounding. This trim disconnects itself and needs to be reconnected, but you can see there is a gap visible in the upholstery there. This is MB Tech's bamboo color. The carpeting on the driver's side has damage under the cocoa mat. You can see that there is a hole and staining and carpet damage off to the left. So now we will do an interior test of components. We'll start with the parking brake, which is working and has been adjusted. The lighting, headlights, hazards, we'll go outside and look. The fog lamps do not work. This hazard light is working. It's hard to see in the sun. Headlight, hazard. All of the bulbs in the car have been replaced during the pandemic when there was plenty of time to be doing maintenance projects. And that includes the maintenance of the instrument cluster, which was removed, and solder connections were repaired for the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge, which had fluttering in them. That's now been corrected. The speedometer has a little bit of wiggle in it at lower speeds that you can see, and in my driving video you'll see a bit of the example of that. The clock's resistors have been replaced, so it keeps time. However, the hour hand is slightly out of sync with the minute hand. It's advanced forward about a half an hour. The car has a cover-lay dash, which is in very good shape and is quite a good match when you compare the cover-lay to the Mercedes original color here. The fit for the vent is not quite perfect here, but the dash underneath was in very poor condition, so covering it up was the most appropriate way to clean the car up. I will demonstrate the window switches for you. They are about 10 years old. Passenger window. You can see there was some clunking in there, but it was working fine. And the driver's window in very good condition. This window has been, the regulator and the window has been replaced. It was broken into in a parking lot, and the radio was taken at that time. The center console was recovered at that time with new plastic, and there's a new carpet piece down there. They did a pretty nice job. The gear shift lever is new, and here's the ashtray with cigar lighter. It does not work. The radio